Come get some.
Hello and welcome back to DO Gaming, where I do games, and today I'm playing Raiden 5 Director's Cut on the PlayStation 4. This is yet another vertical scrolling shmup and the sequel to Raiden 4, as you might have realised. And this is the first screen you come across. You've got your story mode, boss missions, so boss rush, leaderboards, fairly standard affair. Like there's not a lot here, and this is the revised edition. This originally came out on the Xbox, and there was less. For example, the Xbox version only had single player. This now has couch co-op added, which is something, you know, it should have been in there to begin with, but it's there now. It's a port of an arcade game, but it's the first, I think, fully next-gen proper vertical scrolling arcade shooter we've had. So I was really excited for this. I've been excited for this for a long time. I had this on pre-order. We'll go straight into story mode today. We will go new game. We will stick with normal. Here's the fight selector. You have the choice of 3 ships, all with slightly varying fire patterns and stats. I'm going to go with the all-rounder. You get 3 types of pickup. So orange, blue and pink. Pink's homing, blue's laser beams, orange is like your generic spread shot, shotgun type thing. And you can pick 3 variations of those. So straight fire, when you lean, it leans as you fire, and well, you can see better pictures on the screen. So I'm going to go with leany. Don't know what that one is, so I'm going to go stick with the giant laser beam, and I will have the... These are all homing. I don't know which one's better, so I'm just going to try any old one. That one looks kind of cool. And here we encounter the first problem. There is a lot of story in this game for some reason. I mean, look at all this. I mean, a lot of it's voiced, which is nice, but none of it matters in these kind of games, and they've just overdone it. And what's worse is not only do you get oversaturated with this screen after screen. I'm just going to skip through this. Look at all that text. That's just a wall of TLDR. Yeah, it doesn't end there. Wait until you like this. Wait until we start shooting at things. Right, there it is, top of the screen, rabbiting away. Yep, now she's having a go. They never shut up. Can you hear them? See that box of text in the middle? That's following it. So if you want to keep track of what's going on, you can have a look at that. When you would have time to look at that in a vertical scrolling shooter that's this fast paced, I do not know. But they seem to think you will have. There's my new laser beams. Pew pew pew. Also, the dialogue at the time, so what they're saying then and there, pops up at the top middle of the screen. You can't turn that off. That's overlaying the screen. The screen where you're playing the game, where it's like sometimes it's that solid. Things will appear at the top of the screen, and you'll need to see the enemies because you know from what enemy it is what they're going to do, what bullet patterns to expect. You can't see them. All you just get is fucked by bullets. You have no idea what's coming because you couldn't quite work out what enemy there was because of a wall of fucking text that was taking up 1/8 of a screen that's already squashed up because this is, converted from an arcade, so they've tried to keep it in the right aspect ratio, so they've squashed it to the middle of your telly, so shit's already pretty small. Now take into account they've added 2-player, that makes things more convoluted, but this scrolling background scrolls far too sodding fast, so you can't really keep track of what's going on. And furthermore, they have a habit of making the bullets the same colour as the background, which is contrived difficulty. Now, I thought this was an accident. I thought they just fucked up in the early stages, but there's a stage later on that me and my girlfriend were playing when it's blue. It's an ice level, because of course you have to have an ice level. And we thought, oh, thank God, like they're orange and pink bullets. We'll definitely be able to see the bullets now. That we might have a little bit of respite. I fucked up and got hit there. No, the second the stage started, we just audibly laughed, both of us simultaneously, because the bullets turned blue. I can't stand that kind of contrived difficulty bullshit. It's just shit game design. It's lazy game design is what it is. And you don't expect it from a series with this much, heritage, and that you expect this much from. I don't know. It's a bit of a letdown. So scoring system standard, shooting standard. I've got the homing thing, so I'm just concentrating on not getting hit at the minute and letting the gun do its thing. The hitboxes on this game is the tiny center of your ship. So, you know, if a bullet skims past your wing and stuff, that doesn't matter. Look at all the crap going on around the side of the screen. There's enough going on in this game, ignoring the fact that they never shut up. Also, the dialogue from the story is constant. They never shut the fuck up. And you can't follow any of it. You can't. You've got to concentrate. You'd have to have someone sat next to you explaining it in, like, you know, summary at the end of each match, because I have no idea. I've played this through 3 or 4 times now, and you get different story depending on which path you take, because there are quite a lot of stages, and I couldn't tell you. I have no idea what's happening, because you can't follow it. You can't follow it whilst you're concentrating on this. It was a stupid idea. I don't know who thought of it. Don't mind a bit of story in a game, but this is dumb. This is dumb in a vertical shooter. What you just saw there was me utilising the cheer system. Now, I'm offline at the minute, so it's not fully utilised, but what happens with the cheer system is, for some reason, other people will see things you did, like if you killed a boss or if you picked up a specific secret item, and that'll count as then giving you a little cheer. And when that happens, that fills a bar in the corner of your screen. And, fuck you. And as that bar goes up, eventually you'll get a special move. Now, I can't work out what move you get when. Like, they seem fairly random. They're all slightly different, but they're there. Again, it's a weird, convoluted thing that didn't need to be there, and I don't like it. But you can turn that off, thankfully, or just not go online like I've not done. You don't get killed in one hit anymore, like you did with Raiden, the other Raidens, all of them. You have a life bar now, which some people complained would make it easier, but if anything, it's made it harder, because you don't have any lives. You can get hit a few times, and then you get a continue. But when you had lives, you would get hit, you would get reset, but you wouldn't go back anywhere. So, you know, it just reset to the same place. It would restock your bombs, and it would give you a moment of invincibility, so you could sort out, you know, what the fuck was going on. That's gone now. If you get hit, you do a little flip, so you still get the moment of invincibility, but you don't restock any of your bombs or anything, so you have to wait for the actual continue before you get them back, which I'd argue makes things more difficult. Because I'm right. Oh good, more story. And all of this clusterfuck that's going on around the side of the screen, by the way, all these dials and flickering things, and usually there's a little bar of stuff you've done there in your progress, like a progress tracker, and these screens flickering up on the right constantly of people talking, and that radar in the corner that none of it really means anything, and it's all fucking distracting, and you can't turn any of it off. Any of it. It's some of the worst HUD design I've ever seen. I don't know who thought of it, but fuck you. Also, look at the state of that ship. The graphics are awful. It looks like a late PS2 game at best. And I was really expecting some more... Look at that background. That is shit. I was expecting so much more from this being like a properly, you know, next-gen vertical shooter. I was excited for this. Oh, orange bullets on an orange background. Hats off to that twat. Well, good. Well done games design. This happened in Raiden 4, but it wasn't as egregious. It wasn't as obvious, and it was kind of a little bit more forgivable. Yeah, I got shot then. Yay. Right, yeah, you power your weapons up by picking up the according colour for which weapon you're using. So if you pick up the little pink gems which appear once in a blue moon, you can see on your bottom left there the bar will go up a level and you can max them out. So you can pick your favourite and max that out, or try and max all of them out, because they're very situational and you never know when you're going to need them. Some weapons are better for other things, like the blue weapons are generally better at doing a constant stream of direct damage, so you save them for the bosses. Dealing with waves of little things. Homing weapons. Homing weapons are by far the superior weapon in this game, so just level them up. You don't need to level up anything else, because if you've got homing weapons, you can just mostly concentrate on not being shot, which is 90% of what this game is. Like, accuracy is not a skill required. Not getting hit, however, is. The level design itself is fairly generic. You've got your ice level, you've got your sand level, you've got, you know, nothing new, nothing outstanding. And unfortunately, worth mentioning now as well, the music isn't great. There are a couple of really good tracks. Now, Raiden's known for its good music. Raiden 4 had some fantastic songs. There are two, and one that really stands out in this game. There is one track that I was like, oh, that's actually pretty fucking good. And that was it. That's all you get. One good track, then fuck you. There are also points in this game when you're fighting the bosses, some of the bigger enemies, the camera pans out. It zooms out. Now you have to bear in mind, things are already pretty little, and they're already squashed into the middle of the screen, and you've already got text taking up half the fucking screen, and you're being yelled at perpetually by twats for some reason because story fuck you, and you've got flickering bullshit down both sides of the screen. It then zooms right out, making it even harder to see what the fuck's going on, and with the same colour bullets on the same colour background. Oh, fucking hell, I picked up the wrong weapon. Woe is me. The bullshit just escalates quickly. Like, there are some things I wish I could forgive, or could forgive if it was just that, but when you stack it with everything else this game's doing wrong, for no particular reason, it's borderline offensive. When you consider how prestigious this series is and how long it's been around, these people should know how to make these kind of games, and this isn't good enough. I'm disappointed, this isn't good enough. This is a letdown. I'm sad now. The stages themselves also overstay their welcome a little bit. Like, I will applaud the enemy variety to an extent, and the different ways they attack, and sometimes it'll repeat the same attack pattern a few times and then do it again and you think, I know how to deal with this, and it'll throw you a curveball out of nowhere, and it's like, that was clever, I like that. That was a good bit of game design, that caught me off guard. But those moments are few and far between, considering how long the stages are. These stages are just a little bit too long for what you're actually, you know, after a while of seeing the same thing scroll past, it gets a bit like a Scooby-Doo cartoon. You think, right, like, just tell me who the fuck it is. I just want to get to the boss fight. I just want to fight the big dude. And the boss fights are, again, pretty good in this game, but it just takes so long to get there. Here's a second stage boss. Usual bullet hell affair, little twats over from the side. A lot of it's memorization. Like, a lot of these you're not going to get first time. So, you know, you play them, you learn them, you do it again. You get better. I like that. I don't think this is... You know what? It's not bad. It's just nowhere near as good as it should be. Even if you ignore all the other bullshit this game does, it's just not as good as it should be. Like, the actual core game... Whoopsie daisy. Fuck! And that's what happens when you die. And you can just continue immediately, but your score's being reset. I was a second away from killing him. That's quite gutting. But yeah, you get the idea. That's that. What else can I say about it, really? Not a lot. It's not a bad vertical scrolling shooter. I bought this for £28, and that's too much money. I would not recommend it for that amount of money. I would get this if you like these kind of games later down the line, like when it's in a sale. I would recommend maybe picking it up. It's a lot like the game before. If you liked 4, you'll probably like this. The controls are a little bit better, they move a little bit more smoothly, but I would say in every other aspect of the game, it's either not improved or not as good. So to summarise, is this a bad game? No, it's alright. It's a good little shooter if you like these kind of games. If you're just looking at the bit that's going on in the middle of the screen right now and judge it solely based on that, it's okay. If you take into account all the other bullcrap, it would drag its score down vastly, because that's just... I'm not going to go into it again, you know how I feel about that, but it's very unnecessary. Is it the best game in the series? No, I would argue that Raiden 4's better than this. Are there better games on the system? Yes. Yes, there are. There are better vertical scrolling shooters than this on the PS4. I would say that there's a game called Caladrius Blaze that, although morally questionable, I'll do a video and talk about that at a different date, is a better shooting game. Yeah, we'll say that. And I don't do scores out of 10, but if I did scores out of 10, I would probably say, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would rate this, you should play Skyforce instead. And that's Raiden 5. There is generally not much more to it than that. You can see the gallery, I guess. Yeah, you can unlock pictures of development, as if there was any. And that's it. This game would massively benefit from an arcade mode where you could play all the stages through without any of the story bullshit getting in the way. That'd be nice. That would be. I would have thought that would have been like a bare essential for this kind of game, but fuck me, I guess. So, yeah. Again, it's not a bad. The core game itself isn't bad. Everything around it is. There should be so much more here, and at the same time, so much less. So I can't honestly recommend this unless you pick it up at a fraction of the fucking price. I'm talking like $5 tops. It's alright. It's throwaway. It's an alright little title. I'm really trying really hard to think of anything else I can say about this, and I don't want to be like a fully negative video, because the core game isn't terrible, but there's just not enough. There's just not enough. Yeah, that's where I'm going to end that. There's just not enough. So as usual, like, subscribe, comments below, tell me what you think. Do you disagree? If so, why? And I understand that there's going to be, you know, fans of these kind of games out there that might jump to this game's defense, and I'd like to know what they think. Were they as disappointed by this game as I was? Because I'm not a massive fan of this series. I quite like the Raiden games, but there are other vertical scrolling shooters that I've always thought were better and that I would prefer to play. So any fans of the series, I'd like to know what your thoughts are on this game, especially compared to the earlier titles in the series. So yeah, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next time.
Come get some.